After being home for about a month from Thailand, I had a sudden idea that I wanted to do something quite different. So I mentioned to Callum, how did we fancy going and doing the Inca Trail? And within an hour he had us down to Decathlon and Mountain Warehouse buying walking boots. We were a bit concerned that we'd be able to do this Inca Trail, but we worked hard to get our fitness up, and we ended up booking the 5 days, 4 nights trip instead. It meant that we didn't have so many early mornings and that we get to Machu Picchu at lunchtime rather than having to get there at 5 in the morning. Sounds good to me.
No horses for us on this trek. We were going to have to rely on Shanks's pony. For those of you who don't know the British phrase, that means your own legs. We used Alpaca Expeditions, who were great in terms of looking after their porters, providing them with uniforms, walking boots and good meals. They were still carrying 25 kilos each, which made us moaning about our tiny packs a bit pathetic.
As you can see, the first day is pretty flat and it's really breaking you in gently.
Every day the porters passed us to set up camp both for lunch and dinner, serving us great food, bringing us tea and coffee, and generally looking after us. Food was excellent, albeit I did get a bit sick after day one with some food poisoning, but still managed to work our way through it.
Is a big one,
Yeah.
and the wasp always a big one. Now all ready.
The wasp stings the tarantula to paralyse it, drags it to its nest, lays its eggs inside, and the eggs hatch and eat the tarantula from the inside out.
We were so lucky with our weather on our trip. We had glorious sunshine for most of the day and the mornings were just a little bit cool, but otherwise absolutely gorgeous. It could have been a bit intense just having us and our guide, but Sergio was really good. Sometimes he let us walk off on our own in front, and other times he walked with us, giving us lots of information along the way. The alpacas made for an interesting lunch stop today. They were really tame and let us pet them and get quite close, though one was obviously very interested in our lunch, which as usual was at least 3 courses and far too much food.
same marish. Now, if the portals are tall or they are very short, because they have the same power,
Yeah.
not to carry the same kills.
Yes.
This guy now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Look geriatric.
No. Because we were on the 5-day, 4-night old person trek, we stopped at slightly different times and different places, so we did get lovely quiet campsites.
I may be smiling here, but I was beginning to feel pretty rubbish. It started off with numb fingers and tripping up over my own feet, but then it got gradually worse as time went on.
View from camp, morning of day 4. Salcante Mountain. And down there in the mist is Machu Picchu. We weren't having a romantic moment. I was having to prop Jan up because of the altitude sickness. Jan's decided to sleep off the altitude sickness, so it looks like I'm going to win a Wayner by myself. Although we booked a group tour with Alpaca, we ended up being the only 2 on our particular date, so had 6 porters, a chef, a sous chef and a guide just to look after us. As you can see from the picture here, not all of them were still there, but we had a great team from the Green Machine looking after us for the 5 days. Our first view of Machu Picchu, having climbed up to the Sun Gate. The advantage of the 5-day 4-night trek is we got here mid-morning, so it was clear, whereas those who went early morning regularly couldn't see anything because of the mist. After an initial look round Machu Picchu on that first day we arrived, we headed down to Ayers Calentes and had a night in a bed. God, that was good. And then back up for a proper tour of Machu Picchu the next day, another advantage of the 5-day, 4-night tour. It was also nice to get fresh, clean t-shirts, courtesy of Alpaca Expeditions, very green, in line with the Green Machine theme. We then climbed Huayna Picchu. This was extra, not included, but it was well worth it, even with my fear of heights. What was slightly disconcerting was they don't put barriers where it might be difficult. They only put them where someone's actually fallen and had an accident. So there were plenty bits that elsewhere in Europe you certainly wouldn't have had without a barrier.